Hello, welcome to part 3.
Our focus on teachers and learners producing their own media has brought us to part 3 of this audio tape, which looks more thoroughly at how teachers can use popular electronic media in the classroom. Television, films, radio and recorded songs can be particularly exciting media to bring into one's teaching and can significantly enrich the learning experiences you create for your learners. We talked to Amelia Potenza about using recordings of popular songs in the classroom and asked her to explain why she used the song Stimela.
I just think that the song Stimela is one of the most powerful and moving songs. And I think that using something like this to convey aspects of our history and also particular content that you want learners to engage with is a much more effective way of teaching history than, say, using a text or even a photograph, actually. I think music works on so many levels and engages on an emotive level much more powerfully. And you can get them dancing and singing along, and there's sections of the song that are in different African languages, I think Zulu, and you can ask the Zulu speakers in the class to translate that section of the song for the other speakers so that you can get a bit of multilingualism going in the classroom. Outcomes-based education requires a balance of knowledge, skills, values and attitudes in the way in which lessons are constructed, in the way in which teaching and learning happens. For this reason, this kind of exercise is quite in line with the requirements of outcomes-based education, because if you look at it, firstly there is the content of the song. You get quite a lot of information about where migrant workers came from, that they came from all over southern Africa, and the different countries that they came from are actually listed in the song. You also get information about where they came to, how long they worked, how much they were paid, what it was like being underground, deep, deep, deep down in the belly of the earth. And I could go on. I mean, there are many other examples of content that one could draw out. And in fact, the activity that follows is quite a focused analysis of the song, almost treating it like a poem, analyzing the literary content of the song. The whole context of migrant labor and working underground is very fertile ground for the exploration of values and attitudes. Why were people there in the first place? Were they there of their own free will? Were there other factors, social factors, that were forcing them to be there? Like, for example, the loss of their own land and the loss of their independence. And to explore all those issues and what that tells you about our society at the time, and particularly what that tells you about power relations in our society.
So what do you think? Can you think of another song which you could use in your teaching? Could you design a similar kind of worksheet for your lesson? As we said before, media are only as good as the lessons that teachers design around them.
7:16, time to look at traffic in and around Jersey. Traffic lights.
And what's this? Traffic reports. But what has this to do with learning? Well, according to some teachers, it's an exciting way to teach skills like map reading.
Traffic lights out at Muki and Africa in Soweto, High and Bologna in Brixton, and then Boysons and Weber roads, traffic badly affected there because of traffic lights. Accident on Main Reef Road between Nadine and...
We asked Peter Ranby how a teacher might use a traffic report in a human and social sciences lesson.
One lesson I saw, the teacher would come in and would play a whole thing on the traffic report. There'd been a couple of accidents. There was certain directions were mentioned, and the M1 North and the M1 South and various off-ramps were suggested as alternative routes. The teacher would then present the learners with a map and ask them to draw on the map the alternative routes suggested by the traffic report. So rather than teaching a fairly straightforward map work lesson from an atlas or from a map in a textbook, this teacher had recorded the traffic report and it got the children to do a whole map work exercise, designing where they would take an alternative route based on the information that was given in the traffic report, and was a very engaging lesson. An extra 5 minutes or preparation was producing a lesson which had a lot more verve and engagement to it than perhaps would have happened if she'd just gone the conventional route.
You can read about some more ideas for using traffic reports in section 4.3 of the Learning Guide.